And now, for the next few minutes, as the Doak burns. The Trail of Tears continues south as Florida State is on a forced march into Hard Rock Stadium to take on the Miami Hurricanes. Miami is having an incredible season thanks to their star quarterback Cam Ward. They began the year demolishing the Florida Gators on the road in the very tough-to-play Swamp, before demolishing inferior opponents for an entire month. However, the Hurricanes began to be tested against ACC opponents. The first one, the Hokies of Virginia Tech, nearly pulled off the upset, but ref ball saved the Hurricanes from themselves. They then had to come back down 25 points against Cal and survive an epic shootout against Louisville. Miami over the last few seasons turns into a pumpkin come October, yet the Hurricanes have managed to avoid disaster thus far and appear to be finally ready to not only win the ACC, but also make the playoffs. The same, of course, could not be said about the Seminoles. When we last saw Florida State, the Duke Blue Devils had defeated them in football for the first time in program history. The offense didn't register a touchdown the entire game, and quarterback Brock Glenn turned over the ball on 3 straight plays. The only group that scored points were the special teams, as kicker Ryan Fitzgerald went 3 for 4 on field goal attempts, and Samuel Singleton Jr. returned a kickoff 95 yards for a touchdown to start the second half. These are indeed dire straits for the battered bastards of Tallahassee. At 1-6, the Florida State Seminoles would need to win every single game the rest of the season to go bowling. Otherwise, they will miss bowl season for the second time in head coach Mark Norvell's tenure. Will the Seminoles rally the power of their ancestors and pull off a shocking upset? You know what? No. I can't keep doing this. I don't know what else to fucking say, man. Look, you already know what happened. I'm not going to do the deep voice this week, okay? This game was a foregone conclusion, so I'm just going to shoot straight. Miami cooked the Seminoles. This was not a game. This was a slaughter. Cam Ward didn't play like the Heisman for the most part, but he didn't need to. Miami led the whole game and looked dominant from start to finish. They didn't force turnovers, didn't force mistakes. They just beat their ass. Look, here's my thing. I stumbled into covering the Seminoles all season long. I have put other projects and videos on hold just to make sure these videos, shitting on them, get out in a weekly fashion. I talk in a really crappy deep voice that would get any other show canceled on television. And for what? Seriously, for fucking what? Torture myself with this garbage? I'm a masochist and enjoy watching blue chip programs squirm into the abyss after a reign of terror, but this is just sad. Part of me this week sat and wondered what in God's name there is for me to even say still. Ramble about Cam Ward potentially being a Heisman? Kane's good, Noel's bad? Ibis having a bigger beak than Puddles? Maybe I should just skip this week. Fuck it. Just cancel the series altogether. Why would I continue to do this? Just save the headache and focus on bigger things. Nah, I'm too fucking stubborn for that.
Fuck that shit!
The Hurricanes come out on the opening drive and march the Seminole defense into the dirt. They score a touchdown with a balanced offensive attack. After a few Seminole drives that traveled the same distance as me walking to the restroom, Miami powers into the end zone for another touchdown. The Seminoles begin to rotate their quarterbacks between Luke Kromenhoek and Brock Glenn to try to find some kind of fucking offense. And they finally catch a lucky break.
Kromenhoek did not look like he was ready for the snap. but he somehow breaks free. How did he get out of there? Inside the 30, inside the 20, and stumbles inside the 15-yard line.
The Hurricanes forgot how to tackle, and Croman Hawk flies downfield on a 4th and 1. Florida State finally capitalizes and scores a touchdown off a pitch to Isaiah Holmes, marking the first Florida State offensive touchdown since October 6 against Clemson. Truly a remarkable feat for the Broken Seminoles. The good times would not last as Miami marches downfield with a slow, methodical pace. The defense holds Miami to a field goal attempt to end the half, making it a 17-7 score. After Miami kicks another field goal, Florida State's drive stalls out after a turnover on downs in Miami territory. Miami, however, misses the chance to sink the dagger into the Noles and settles for another field goal. After Florida State's offense stalls out once more, Miami drives the ball downfield, working the clock late into the 4th. Finally, we see Cam Ward show off why he is a Heisman hopeful in the dying moments of the game.
In under 300 yards for the first time this season. Here comes a trick play and a throwback to Ward. This'll help his numbers. A touchdown.
The backyard bullshit puts the final nail in the coffin for the Seminoles. Miami seals the fate of the Noles season with an emphatic statement at home. On a night where Miami barely put in any effort at all, the Noles were demolished. I think my friend Roy on the Urinating Tree Discord summed it up best. Florida State finished last year 13-1, ranked number 6 in the nation. They won the ACC. They got killed in Miami. They got a number 10 preseason ranking. They sued the ACC thinking that SMU, Cal, and Stanford were way below their league. They are 16th in the ACC. They are 1-7. They are now 31-33 in their last 64 ACC football games. They are 1-7 for the first time since 1954. They are in year 1 of an extension to Mike Norvell. They remain the only team in college football to not score more than 21 points in a game this year. They have the worst offense in America, and it is so well deserved. I couldn't agree more. Florida State, congrats on making history in the absolutely worst possible way. With Miami done pissing on the remains of the Seminoles, we can now finally drag it back to Tallahassee and lay the body on a pile of ash, formerly known as Doak Campbell Stadium, for the funeral. It's just that the funeral won't take place for another month. We have 4 more games to play, because next week, the Dead Noles have some very pissed off Tar Heels coming to town and ready to ram their horns up their ass. As Miami narrowly avoids charges of defiling a corpse, and I try to maintain the remainder of my sanity, we have run out of time this week as the Doak burns. God, how the fuck am I going to talk about this team for another month? Jesus fucking Christ.